Hey y'all, this is Tim Flood from Rural Land Watch. Welcome back to the Selling My Land in Oklahoma series. This question is a really good one and says here, I am supposed to get a survey on my Oklahoma land. What is that and how do I read it once I receive it? So one of the things that I always recommend is if you're buying rural acreage, in fact, you have to do it if you're buying property like through a bank, like if you're buying a house, but a survey, a property survey. And this has to be done by an RPLS, which is a registered RPLS, is a registered professional land survey. Okay, so if you want to find one for your area, let's say you live in Mays County, Oklahoma. Mays County, I didn't spell that right, it may not matter. County, Oklahoma, RPLS. Oh, no, it won't bring it up. RPLS is such a unique combination of letters that it's more than likely going to bring up who you're looking for. So some different links here, Oklahoma State Board. Anyway, you can keep searching around. You have to hire an RPLS. You can't, that is a very specific certification and a very specifically trained person. And so you cannot just use any old body who says they'll go out and survey it. You just have to search around. Maybe if we tried Tulsa, Tulsa RPLS land surveying. So there you go. Here's some. I'm gonna tell you what I do, and particularly if this is if I buy land in southeast Oklahoma, um, I use Lloyd Land Surveying. And so anyway, this is the guy that I use, and he's done great work for me. He's my brother-in-law. But love the guy, does great work. He is an RPLS. So you got to make sure to find an RPLS, whether you hire Lloyd Land Surveying if you're in southeast Oklahoma, or whether you hire it off Google, get a land surveyor. Let me show you something with this and how valuable this is. So this is McIntosh County, Oklahoma, near Lake Eufaula, near the small town of Shakota. And we bought and sold a 15-acre property here. I sort of lost track of it when I zoomed out. So here's what we bought. And again, this all went back to everything we've been talking about. There was a dad back in the history of time who had a bunch of daughters. He passed away, willed the land to his daughters, and they had advanced in age, and they had moved off to parts wherever, Kansas City and St. Louis and wherever else they lived. They were not interested in this land. So I bought it from them, but I had to do quite a bit of legal work to get this all straightened away. I could not have done this myself. And so remember, we've talked about the chain of title and the attorneys that get involved, and they're just, everything has to be done so that everything is granted and done properly. And the father has passed away, and if one of the sisters has, and it can get to be really messy. So regardless of any of that, the property by the taxpayer, tax assessor role was in two properties. So this portion here that says Ida Mae Rutledge, this was a 12-acre property. And this portion here, this H&H site development, was a 3-acre. So in total, it was a 15-acre rectangle. Okay, and we bought both the 12-acre parcel, this reverse Oklahoma looking thing, and we bought this little 3-acre rectangle. All right, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to get a survey, number one, to verify acreage. If they say you're buying 40 acres, or if you've been told you have 40 acres or 22.07, you really want to know. And so the surveyor will go out there and measure it against the earth and put some lines on the ground and calculate it out. And you'll know exactly how much you have there. So number one, I wanted to verify acreage before I bought it. But then number two, the thing to this property that seemed the best to me, people love smaller acreages. So if you can find, you can see over here how much all of these little parcels have been chopped up. And so people love 5-acre properties in Oklahoma. And so I took this rectangle that was 15. I said, well, that's 3 perfect 5s. So I called my brother-in-law, Jason Lloyd, and said, can you survey this property out for me? So let me show you what he did for me. I have to do it this way. All right, so number one is he surveyed the property for me. Okay, and so this is kind of what a surveyor's report looks like. Let me move my picture out of the way. Okay, so he took this rectangle, all right, which is these two weird shaped properties, and he turned it into 3 perfect 5-acre squares for me. And it was kind of funny. We were talking that day, and for a legal description, you know, I showed you guys what many times the legal description looks like: east half of the northeast, of the northeast of the southeast of section 31, township 5 north, range 22E. And Jason and I were talking that day, and I said, man, this is such a lovely piece of property. And so we gave the legal descriptions appropriate names: Slice of Heaven, Paradise, and Utopia. And he said, you can really name the properties anything you want in terms of the legal description. But some of this stuff is his, well, all of this is his work, but you can see there's different stuff. I'm not really qualified to answer what all this is, but we spent the day out there. And what the surveyor does is they go, they have to triangulate into the property. And this mark here, this found number 4 rebar cap, was out in the middle of the county road under dirt. This pin here was, this pin here. So all these pins are out here. So he had to go find pins out in the county road, the markers, and then triangulate in. We went and had a hamburger for lunch. He calculated the 5 acres. Then we just went out into the field and actually put stakes down at these latitude longitudes. And so the surveyor will find the line for you. So you can see he found this number 3 rebar for this corner pin and this one. And what it'll show you, if you look real close at this, the fence line to the property is 12.3 feet off of where it should be. So this neighbor is 12.3 feet and down to 14.3 on this side. So the fence is off the property line. And I was kind of freaking out about it, you know, figuring, oh, we lost all. And Jason, he said, man, that doesn't really matter. I don't know. I guess people don't really get too wound up about where if the fence is close, because he didn't seem worried about it. I guess it happens all the time. I was kind of stressed about it, but we knew, and we found this pin and all these pins and chopped the land up into the 3/5. So verified the 15 acres. He gave it this, let me zoom back out. He gave it new legal descriptions, and so you can see some people can read this, maybe you and I can't, but thence north 1 degree 18 minutes 20 seconds west along the west line of the southwest. And so that's why he goes to all this training, because he knows how to do all this. So track A 5 acres, track B 5 acres, and track C 5 acres. And then so for $1,500 he did all that, and we were able to sell those little 5-acre parcels and make really good money, because people like that 5-acre thing. So for about $1,500, $1,200, $1,500, maybe a little more if it's a little more complicated. But a surveyor did that for me. So I'm just going to encourage you to get a survey for your property, have a sketch drawn up, the legal description revised if needed, and then that'll confirm your acreage, and that's a real good investment on your money for your land. So hope this helps. If you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to reach out to me, Tim@rurallandwatch.com.